If I had to pick my favorite part of World of Dance, it was the battles. 100% the battles were crazy. The freestyle battles were crazy. This was my first time being at a live freestyle battle. When I tell y'all it was off the chain, it was off the chain. Let's talk World of Dance. I am getting ready to make me some fresh shrimp to put with my noodles that I have cooked and some Alfredo sauce along with the rest of my bell peppers. But yeah, let's talk World of Dance. World of Dance is a dance competition. What they do is they go to different places all over the United States, and I believe they go internationally as well to find the best dance teams, find the best dancers to compete for a grand prize. So this year I was able to participate in World of Dance at the Chicago event at the Copernicus Center, and I was able to perform with the team that I was on, and it was something different. So to prep, we had to submit in an audition tape about a few weeks before. However, the audition tape was just to get us in. At first, we just submitted the audition tape just to be a part of the showcase, and then they asked us to be a part of the competition. So the director decided to accept and allow us to be a part of the competition. And they went over a few times during the event, like what they would score, but they were just scoring on like levels and lines and technicality. And they make the score sheet so that it's not just about the style of dance. So it's like any style of dance can still compete with any other style of dance that chooses to come to the event, which I think is really cool. But they really just look for great performances, creativity, cleanliness, performers, like true performers and dance teams that really wow you on stage. And so after we submitted the submission tape, we had about 3 to 4 weeks, I think. It wasn't even that long. It was like a month and a half, maybe 2 months max, but I think it was shorter than that. I have to check my calendar to actually prep for the event. And so we didn't do the choreography that we learned for this audition tape is not the choreography we submitted on stage. We ended up just doing 3 pieces and we just put them together. So that was kind of the prep and journey to get to World of Dance. It was just like a month and a half to 2 months, not even, to practice and put our piece together after we submitted our audition tape. Backstage, there wasn't really like a backstage area. There was like a battle area where the battles were going on, and then there was the stage area where people were performing, but there was like an area behind the battles where all the dancers had their things, but it wasn't like the backstage area. When the teams were getting ready to perform, they would line up against the wall within the auditorium, so you could see the teams lined up and they were able to watch the other teams go, get on stage, and then as soon as they got off stage, you were still able, if you wanted to catch that next performance, which I thought was cool. It was like they made it so if you did want to see the team before you or after you, you definitely had the ability to do that, which is something that I really enjoyed. Performance highlights, there were so many performances that I enjoyed. I'm going to show you guys a few clips because I tried my best to watch every single performance. This was my first time at this event, and I see videos all the time and it makes it look really cool. And I love being around just the best of the best. I love dance, and dance is one of my hobbies. And I've always been one of those people that, hey, if I'm doing something, I want to be the best of the best. So it was definitely inspiring to see different teams from out of town, out of state come and perform. And then with it being in the city that I'm actually in, I definitely saw just a lot of local dancers that I've seen before. So I saw a lot of familiar faces. So in a sense, it's like we did have some comfortability knowing that same dance teams that you see in the city that are there. So it was kind of comforting in a sense when you were going into like a competition like that, seeing just familiar faces and all the dance teams. Watching was so amazing. I enjoyed my time the best way that I could. I'm pretty sure I saw everything. There might have been 1 or 2 performances that I didn't see, but for the most part, I tried my best to see all of the performances for the adult section. When I got there, the kids section was wrapping up, so I focused on the battles. But once the adult section took place, I stopped watching the battles and I went into the auditorium, and I was there for majority of the time. So I tried my best to see everything because I didn't want to miss anything. I really wanted to see all of the performances because it was my first time at the event, and when you see it online, it's like the coolest thing ever. There were so many different teams with different dance styles and techniques. There was a lot of lyrical. I loved a lot of the lyrical performances, hip hop performances. What I enjoyed the most were the performances that actually told a story. Some dance teams told stories, and there were just a few that just did dances, and I really enjoyed the teams that really took their time to tell a whole story, because I was engaged. I wanted to see what was next. I was trying to figure out what the storyline was, what the plot was, and there was so much creativity. There was one team that did like a Halloween skeleton theme, which I thought was cool. There was another team that did like a mannequin type thing and outside in the rain, and it was just, they had so many different scenes. It was amazing. Then I saw this lyrical team that was there, and I believe their name was Soar. They were just amazing. They were so together, so clean. I mean, I saw so many great teams. It was just crazy. Like, I definitely recommend, if you have a World of Dance in your area and you're a dancer, whether you're doing it professionally or you just dance for a hobby, that's a great event to go to, just to check out some of the dancers and just to get inspired, because I was inspired. I wanted to train in other techniques after I left the event. It was so great. Challenges and learning moments that I learned from the event. There were some situations at the event that could have really took me for a turn and changed my attitude and mood, and it didn't. The reason why this event is going to be so memorable, because I decided dance teams aren't just the thing for me anymore. I think it's time for me to just turn a new page, turn a new leaf, just take classes here or there, but I don't think dance teams are the best. With the Chicago scene, it's like really weird, because you'll see people that you saw at the last event or that you've taken classes from, and it's like, when I take your class, you say hi. When I saw you at the last event, you say hi, but now we're at this event and now you don't want to say hi. Just a lot of like snubby people. People don't want to say hi, and it's just kind of like, well, you were cool when I was in your class, now we're not cool anymore. It's just like a really weird vibe. I don't know. Y'all let me know if it's like that in other dance cities and areas, or if that's just a Chicago thing. But it was really weird, because it's like the same people that snub you and won't say hi at the event are the same people that are watching your story. Super weird, super, you know what I mean? And I think that was the one thing that I didn't like about the event. It's kind of like, okay, these are like the same 5 dance teams that I see at all the other events. So I wasn't really, with some of the teams I was surprised, but then with some of the other ones, it's like, oh, I've seen this before. So what I really loved about World of Dance is that there were teams from all over, so I was still able to get that newness, that variety, instead of like the same 10 dancers in every single set. So that's one thing that I liked. But the main thing that I learned from World of Dance is just be in the moment, do what's best for you. And I really tried to savor the moment with pictures, with my energy, with me just being present at the battles, me being present during the performances. Even though everyone wanted to project their negative energy, I really stayed focused on trying to enjoy the moment, and I did it the best way that I knew how. But y'all are not gonna catch me on another team. I'm not saying you're not gonna see me performing anywhere else, but I think I'm done with joining teams for a while. Yeah, I can't see myself joining another dance team. It's not, I think it's all about, you can't really control what people do and what people say, but I'm making a conscious decision in my life, with me being in my 30s now, to like surround myself with people that are aligned with my future, people that are confident, people that are supportive, positive. I believe the whole saying of birds of a feather flock together, so I don't want to be around people that are insecure and still trying to find themselves and don't know how to cheer people on, but want to like bring them down and make themselves look better. I think there was like a maturity level thing, but that's why I think this event's going to be memorable, because it's like, it could potentially be my last time on stage. I don't know, I'm still going to take classes, but who knows if I'm ever going to be on stage again, because I don't plan on joining any more teams. So that's why I think this event is going to be memorable for me, and I try my best to take that all in. Tips for you, if you're going to World of Dance, I would just say enjoy the moment, especially the teams. Like, certain events like this, you really want to be able to enjoy. Like, you shouldn't be learning new choreo backstage. You shouldn't be drilling the choreo so hard that you can't even enjoy the battles or the events that are going on, because you're so in your mind trying to prep. Like, if you don't have the routine by the time you get to the event, you're not going to have the routine. You're not. And that's just that's just my personal opinion. So I would just say, for the teams that are going, make sure you're prepared, make sure you hone in, take advantage of all the practices, have extra practices if you need to. But when it's time for you to get on that stage or get to that event, really allow your dancers to take in the event versus panicking, because it's already going to be tense and tension, because it's like, oh, for some dancers they might not have performed before, for some dancers they might not have performed at this event before, so this is something new for them. And it's like, you really want to be able to enjoy the moment versus being outside, backstage, wherever you're at, trying to make sure we're all together on 8 when that should have been done in rehearsal. You know, I think there was a good majority of the teams I didn't see practicing, but there were like a couple of maybe like 5 or 6 teams that were outside that did it like a quick mark or something. And I'm not saying a quick mark is bad. I'm just saying you shouldn't be learning new choreo backstage. You shouldn't be trying to hone in on things that should have been done at practice before, because that can cause the team and everybody anxiety. There was a lot of anxiety and tension on certain teams, and it's just kind of like, just make sure that as a coach or director of the teams that you really take the time to be that example for your team. Make sure all of your team members are feeling confident, feeling positive, and really try to avoid any negative energy at the event. That would just be my only piece of advice from the things that I've learned, not only at World of Dance, but just at some of my other dance events. Reflection. If you have a desire to get to World of Dance as a director or as a dancer, really hone in on your craft. Really focus on what you need to do to get better as a dancer and be a good all-around dancer, from levels to energy to texture to facials to creativity. Like, it takes a full package to really place at World of Dance. So just really put your time into it, your thought into it, because you might be accepted one year and the next year you might not be accepted, because the level of competition is so high. So I would just say, don't take it for granted. Work your butt off, do what you need to do for your team as a director, and for the team members as dancers on the team. Like, make sure you do your part, so that when you do get that opportunity, you fully take advantage of it. Because sometimes, what if you only have one shot? What if that's the only time you get invited to World of Dance? How are you gonna take advantage of this opportunity? Let me know in the comments your World of Dance experience, if you've been there before or if you haven't. I really want to hear other people's insights, because I really want to go to World of Dance in another city where I don't know any of the dancers, because I feel like that's gonna make it 10 times better for me. Like I said, because it was in the local areas, like I saw some of the teams that I knew. When you see people that you've already seen before, it's kind of like you know what to expect. And I just wish there was more dance teams that were in the lineup that I didn't know what to expect from. A good amount of the teams I knew what to expect because I've seen them before. So it would just be nice for me to attend World of Dance in a city where I don't know any of the dancers, so I could be surprised at every single set. I had a great time at World of Dance, and I really look forward to them coming back next year, because next year I plan on being there in the audience and not as a dancer.